my first cigarette of the day when I get up. We smoke in the car on the way to school.
Widest selection of convertibles of any brand, like the 150-mile-per-hour Autobahn-tested Crossfire Roadster, the Fun for 4 PT Cruiser, the most affordable convertible, and the spacious Chrysler Sebring. So why wait? Open one up at your Chrysler dealer. Now during the Chrysler Model Year-End Clearance, get $1,000 bonus cash for a combined cash allowance of $4,000 on Sebring convertible.
There are plenty of reasons to choose Dodge Grand Caravan over Toyota Sienna and Honda Odyssey. Caravan has stow and go. They don't. Caravan offers a convenient overhead storage system and 12 cubic feet of in-floor storage. They don't. And right now, qualified returning Daimler Chrysler employee lessees can grab a new Caravan for just $129 a month for 24 months. That means Dodge has your next minivan, and Honda and Toyota don't.
Your #1 10 o'clock news. This is Fox 2 News. News that works for you.
Another brutal murder posted on the internet. This one hits close to home.
Frightening amateur video of a Clinton Township teenager taking target practice before his arrest for planning a massacre.
And there's weed growing in that field of green, but any high hopes for this crop is going up in smoke. Good evening, I'm Monica Gale.
And I'm Hugh Perkins. It is the worst possible news for one family and an agonizing development for two others. Today, Michigan native Eugene Armstrong was beheaded after being held captive in Iraq. Another American and one Briton who were abducted with him are facing the same fate.
The militant group led by Jordanian terror mastermind Abu Musab al-Zarqawi has claimed responsibility for the slaying. Right now, Armstrong's family is trying to cope with the devastating news. Fox 2's Lourdes Duarte joins us live tonight from his hometown of Hillsdale with more. Lourdes?
And these yellow ribbons are all around Hillsdale in honor of Eugene Armstrong. Now, they had planned a candlelight vigil here tonight. It was set to pray for his safe return home. However, after the news of his death, it became a way to honor his life. I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the rose. In the small town of Hillsdale, the people are making the greatest show of solidarity, all for the man who left years ago and is now the latest victim of a violent but powerful Sunni Muslim group.
It hits home a lot closer to home when, you know, it's somebody that lived in your town.
The candlelight vigil brought people who didn't even know Eugene Armstrong, and the yellow ribbons are for people like him, trying to stay alive in Iraq.
It means bring them back, bring them all back. Bring them back before any of the guys or gals get killed like this.
Armstrong was known to friends in Hillsdale as Jack, an adventurer who wanted to travel the world.
Neat, cool, fun-loving, doing what he does best. Building, carpentry, helping out.
And construction is what led him to Iraq, an American in chaos, captured and then beheaded. A 9-minute video of his death posted on a website for the world to see.
We're devastated with what's on the internet. Nobody wants to see it. We don't need to.
Tonight, Eugene Armstrong's death isn't going unnoticed, even if it's thousands of miles away in a small town in Michigan. And Armstrong's body was recovered today. Now there are still 2 other men being held hostage. Militants promise to behead at least one of them in 24 hours unless Iraqi women are released from 2 U.S.-controlled prisons. Reporting live in Hillsdale, Lourdes Duarte, Fox 2 News.
Lourdes, thank you. Despite the news of Eugene Armstrong's execution, the wife of another American hostage is hoping that the terrorist will let her husband go. Patty Hensley's husband Jack was captured with Armstrong last week.
My plea to these folks is to please understand this man means no harm to anybody over there. He was there to do good.
Third hostage is Ken Bigley from Great Britain.
Senator Carl Levin is extending his sympathy to the Armstrong family tonight. In a statement, Senator Levin says, "It is our fervent hope that those who perpetrated this atrocity on an innocent man will be brought to justice."
Eugene Armstrong's death is the latest in a long string of executions by rebel leader Abu Musab al-Zarqawi. Last April, Zarqawi and his group claimed responsibility for the beheading of American Nicholas Byrd. In June, they killed South Korean translator Kim Sun-il. And in August, they executed a truck driver from Turkey. In each case, the rebels demanded concessions from the U.S. military, the withdrawal of forces, or the release of prisoners. The U.S. does not negotiate with terrorists.
Abu Musab al-Zarqawi has claimed responsibility for a wave of abductions and violence across Iraq. The 37-year-old Jordanian radical is also accused of masterminding several suicide bombings. Spanish authorities also believe he may have played a role in the Madrid bombings last March. And he already faces a death sentence for plotting attacks against U.S. and Israeli targets in Jordan. He was tried there in absentia.
Chilling new video tonight of the Clinton Township teenager accused of planning a massacre at his high school. We'll have more on this videotape in a moment, but right now, alleviating the fears of worried parents. Fox News' Andrea Isom is live at Chippewa Valley High School with that story. Andrea?
Hi, Hugh. Well, before the school board meeting started, the parents we saw were more than worried. They were angry and scared. Scared that there could be other students inside this high school who pose a threat. So they had questions, and you better believe they wanted answers. This young man, 17-year-old Andrew Ostinowski, will go down in Chippewa Valley High School history. Because last Thursday, Andrew, his father, and another man were arrested. And an arsenal of guns, bomb-making materials, explosives, and high-power weapons were found inside the Ostinowski home. The purpose? Police say Andrew was planning on trying to pull off yet another Columbine, but this time in Clinton Township.
This was an isolated incident. As soon as we knew about it, we removed the problem from our schools.
Though everyone is grateful that his plan was not put into action, parents want to know how this student slipped through the cracks and are their children safe.
We're thankful now, but how do we head off to the next one?
Well, one way may be to change the law. Ostinowski had only been enrolled at the high school for 10 days, but since his past school was private, his records were not made public. And according to the district, after hearing about his history, that may have made a difference.
Oh, absolutely. Private and parochial schools are not held to the same standards that public schools are in terms of having to fully disclose all of the student history.
After the meeting was over, the parents told us they were satisfied with the way the district handled the situation. The one criticism they did have, though, was that they thought the school board should have talked to them sooner and more often about the situation. Live in Clinton Township, Andrea Isom, Fox 2 News.
All right, Andrea. Now, the story doesn't stop there. Today, police released a video of 17-year-old Andrew Ostinowski target shooting, eerily similar to the home video of Columbine shooters Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. Fox 2's Jason Carr joins us live tonight in Clinton Township with more on that. Jason?
There's 4 words we need to keep in mind here: innocent until proven guilty. Having said those words, take a look at this tape that police gave us. He stands in a mirror wearing a white pride t-shirt. Only the young suspect knows what's going through his mind as he pretends to fire an assault rifle while making gunfire sound effects like a little boy.
Hit rewind, hit play, and here we go. We have pictures of him shooting the guns and showing us that there are guns in that house.
Detective Jeff Barbera says the tape was still in the camcorder in the young man's bedroom.
The video does show him with a shotgun. That also came along with that rifle from a gun shop in our town that was stolen back in June. So that kind of stuff on that video clued us in right away to make sure we searched the house real well.
Okay, a little higher up. An unseen narrator handles the camera at one point while the suspect shoots. But who is the narrator?
His father could possibly be a suspect, and he's not talking to the police right now.
It's worth noting that the Columbine shooters videotaped themselves rehearsing their attack. In this case, the suspect is seen in a final clip shouting profanity, possibly at an imaginary enemy, while dry firing the shotgun over and over. Incomprehensibly, a portrait of Jesus can be seen taped to the mirror just before the camera stops recording. We went to the young suspect's mother's house to show her that tape to get her reaction. She turned us down on the advice of her attorneys. In Clinton Township, Jason Carr, Fox 2 News.
Hi, Jason, thank you. A scare at a Southfield Elementary School raising new questions tonight. The school sent students home this afternoon when a maintenance crew found what appeared to be a grenade on the playground. The good news, it turned out to be nothing more than a military training device. An Army bomb squad took it away. Tonight, the question is, where did it come from?
An 8-year-old Detroit boy says his mother's roommate is molesting him. Officers tell Fox 2 the boy told his mother about the alleged abuse this morning. This is where they all live. The mother called police right away. They arrested the 21-year-old man. He is accused of sodomizing the child.
A former Detroit U.S. attorney will oversee the retrial of the men who had the terrorism charges against them dropped this month. Alan Gershel is the new lead prosecutor in the case. He won't pursue terrorism charges against the men, only document fraud charges. A judge dropped the terrorism convictions against the two of the men because the previous prosecutors withheld evidence from defense attorneys.
Vice President Dick Cheney was in Pennsylvania today to gather support for President Bush. Cheney, along with his wife Lynn, attended a town hall meeting where he spoke on the threat of terrorism and establishing a democracy in Iraq. The vice president also attacked John Kerry and accused him of changing his stance on U.S. involvement in Iraq.
Depending on what day of the week it is, and when you catch John Kerry, whether he's supportive of what we're trying to do, or he wants to change it, or he wants to retreat, it's difficult to tell. But the danger here is that without a very firm commitment on the part of the President of the United States to put in place, he's got a vision and make a decision and live with that decision.
The vice president plans to continue his campaigning in Ohio, then he will come to Metro Detroit on Wednesday. Senator Kerry took his own shots at the president while campaigning in New York. He attacked President Bush for lying about the war in Iraq and his handling of it. He even lashed out at Mr. Bush's character as president.
This policy has been plagued by a lack of planning, by an absence of candor, arrogance, and outright incompetence.
Senator Kerry went on to say that Iraq has become what he calls a sanctuary for a new generation of terrorists. He also promised that if elected, he has a plan to fight a smarter, better war.
With less than 50 days before Election Day, Senator Kerry is seeing his lead in Michigan shrink. According to a new Epic MRA poll, if the election were held today, the Democratic senator would get 48% of the vote. The president would get 44%. Just 1 month ago, Kerry's lead was 7 points. The poll was conducted last week and surveyed 610 likely Michigan voters.
Meanwhile, the Bush and Kerry camps have agreed on a series of debates. The two men will face off 3 times. The first debate will be September 30th at the University of Miami. It will focus on foreign policy. October 8th, they will take questions from undecided voters in Missouri. And the last debate will be October 13th in Arizona. The topic, domestic policy. Today's agreement also calls for one vice presidential debate, October 5th in Cleveland.
So what can you see from high above Michigan? Illegal activity. We'll show you what police found.
A Detroit woman needed help, and you responded with your hearts and your money. You'll see the results of this problem-solver investigation.
And the dream isn't dead, but it may be put in park. Find out why.
I'm Chris Edwards. The warm-up actually started today. It kicks into high gear over the next couple of days, but I already see the end in sight. Details coming up. Dan?
Hey, Chris, coming up in sports for the first time since 2000. The Lions are 2-0, but it's going to get a lot tougher this week. We'll go one-on-one with the head coach coming up.
Star Wars fans, see how you could win a trilogy DVD Tuesday morning. Also, we'll be joined by the one and only Chewbacca. And actor Charlie Sheen will help you raise money for a good cause Tuesday.
The last of the 04s are moving out, one by one. It's Chevy's model year-end event. Now get $6,000 total cash back with GMAC financing on a 2004 Chevy Trailblazer or Trailblazer EXT. Plus, GM employees and eligible family members can get an additional $1,000 bonus cash. So get here soon. In fact, right now would be good. See your Detroit area Chevy dealer today.
Picture a place that's always ready to take good care of you and your family. One that will win you over, heart, mind, and body. A place that has the very best available. And for more than 115 years, doctors, nurses, and staff that have always given you their very best. Picture Sinai-Grace Hospital, since 1888, heart of the community.
When you want health coverage, you want it to cover you wherever you go. Plus, the ability to choose a doctor close to home, with choices big enough for a worldwide conglomerate, plus flexibility for groups as small as 2. Introducing Michigan's newest line of health coverage products, all powered by HAP. Visit HAP.org to get powered by HAP.
Get the power!
average driver spends a mere 1% of the time in reverse. Yet considering what's at stake, that's 1% we didn't want to ignore. The backup camera, available in the Lexus RX 330. At Lexus of Ann Arbor and Meade Lexus of Southfield and Lakeside.
Hurricanes Charlie, Francis, and Ivan devastated parts of the Caribbean, Florida, and Alabama. But it's Tropical Storm Jean that is responsible for more than 500 deaths in Haiti. The death toll expected to rise. Jean hit Saturday, but the floodwaters are just beginning to recede today. Jean is now over the open Atlantic, heading away from the mainland United States. They're starting to clean up after Hurricane Ivan in Alabama. Some homeowners were just allowed to go back to their homes this weekend to assess the damage. As you can see, some homes are destroyed.
I really didn't expect it to be this bad. I don't know that I could describe it. You know, how do you describe all that?
President Bush has visited the coastline in Orange Beach to get a first-hand look at the destruction. He vows to help residents rebuild by asking Congress for more relief money.
So many people need help right now, and time is running out for the victims of Hurricanes Ivan, Francis, and Charlie. Fox 2 is working with the Red Cross and local Chevy dealers to collect donations for the people hardest hit by the storms. You can drop off your donations weekdays through the end of the month at any local Chevy dealership. For more information, just log on to semredcross.org.
Continue to see those pictures of the hurricane damage, but we're just in a nice holding pattern for now.
We've been dry for days and days around here, and we're starting to warm up, and that's a trend that's going to continue. We're only 2 days from a new season, though. Take a look at what's going on. Of course, on Wednesday, it will be the autumnal equinox, first day of fall in this hemisphere, first day of spring in the southern hemisphere. Around here, well, it's going to feel a little like summer. Today, we've got the warm air centered in the plains, some cool stuff out in the Rocky Mountains. And between now and Wednesday, well, it looks like Wednesday will be the peak of the warm-up around here. The showers off to the west of us at that point will get closer as we move from Wednesday to Friday. So, too, does the cooler air, but the real cool stuff never really dumps into the Great Lakes. It will, however, cool off a little come Friday with a slight chance of a shower. Notice the showers across Florida and Texas. Otherwise, most of the nation will be drying out. I will talk about what it looks like as we head toward the very end of the work week and the start of the weekend in just a few. Hill.
All right, Chris, we'll see you then. Tonight, Roseville police are investigating another bank robbery where the suspect used a bomb-like device to scare tellers. It happened this afternoon at the Charter Bank on Gratiot. The robber put the device in the drive-through tray. He claimed it was a bomb and then demanded money. Turned out that bomb was a fake. Police tell us this is the same method used in other recent bank robberies. However, they could not confirm any connection.
Sheriff's deputies aren't just tracking down criminals. They're taking to the sky looking to bust marijuana growers. The Oakland County Sheriff's Aviation Unit was making a routine patrol when they spotted patches of marijuana plants in a rural area. In this past week, 189 plants were confiscated from a cornfield in Lyon Township.
It sends a real strong message that Oakland County is out and we're looking, whether you're growing it, whether you're selling it, you're transporting it, or using it. There are no free shots here in Oakland County for drug dealers. We will find it, and we'll take it, and we'll arrest you if we track you down.
Sheriff's Department says its aerial unit is essential in locating illegal drugs that otherwise could not be seen from the ground.
All right, quick question right now. Where were the clothes you're wearing made? By the way, you're not alone if you don't know the answer to that one.
Some shoes with a pro baller's name need to go back. We're working for you tonight.
Your next trip on an airplane may be a dry one. We'll explain why.
And all good things come to an end for a Detroit team.
It's the show.
What's the show about? It's about nothing.
About nothing.
I think you may have something here.
Next, Seinfeld.
Coming up next on Fox 2 Detroit. The Fox 2 Problem Solvers. The investigations you'll love watching. The stories that have you talking. The team that's always working. Undercover.
We got the pictures on this.
Under fire.
Don't grab the microphone.
All over Metro Detroit. Working for you. The Fox 2 Problem Solvers.
What a change. Oh, my goodness. I'm so happy for her. Look at this. What you get.
Introducing the redesigned 2005 Nissan Altima.
You might call it an extreme makeover. We call it the 05 Altima. Now, with a $239 a month lease, Altima's never been more attractive.
Beautiful.
Altima, $239 a month at your Nissan dealer now.
Garnder-White, 92nd anniversary. So what? Here's what. It's all about you and the money you will save right now. Sale prices so low, you have to see them to believe them. You pay no interest for 3 entire years. And they pay your sales tax. And only at Garnder-White, no minimum purchase. Yeah, no minimum purchase, period. It's like this. The money you save is Garnder-White's anniversary gift to you. Don't miss this sale. It ends on Wednesday.
Applebee's Carside to Go is here.
Well, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, little darling.
With Carside to Go, you can make dinner just by making a call.
Let's go again once more.
Plus, we'll deliver the food straight from our kitchen to your car.
Oh, pretty baby, I love you so.
So try Applebee's Carside to Go. It's not fast food, it's Applebee's Food Fast.
Eating good in the neighborhood. Let's go.
It's inspired, but is it more than a car? Yes. Does it have the government's highest crash test rating? Yes. Does all-wheel drive make it more than a minivan? Yes. Does a lower stance make it well beyond the SUV? Yes. The Chrysler Pacifica. Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard.
Now, qualified returning Daimler Chrysler employee lessees can lease an all-wheel drive Pacifica Touring for just $199 a month.
Think for a moment of the clothing you're going to wear tomorrow. Do you have any idea where it was made? I'm Murray Feldman with the Feldman Report. You hear it every day. There's plenty of talk about U.S. jobs going overseas and U.S. companies buying more parts overseas. But when it comes to what we buy, many of us don't even know where it comes from. Get this, 70% of Americans say when it comes time to buying items like tools or wallpaper, they never look or ask where it was made. 85% of young people aged 18 to 24 surveyed across the country admit they never ask where anything they buy came from, and they say they don't really care. Are you planning a move? Here's a tip. Make sure you look over all of your belongings carefully before you sign on the dotted line and let the movers leave. 1 out of every 5 moves these days involves a damage claim. Maybe you should also call your insurance company to see if you need extra coverage before the movers show up. Join me for the Feldman Reports on radio, weekday mornings and afternoons on WWJ News Radio 950. I'm Murray Feldman.
Tonight we're working for you with a shoe recall. Reebok is pulling 140,000 of its Allen Iverson toddler shoes off store shelves. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says that the logo on the shoe's tongue can be peeled off and could choke a young child. So far, there are no reports of any injuries. Now, parents of children who own the shoes are advised to visit the company's website or give them a call.
Fannie Mae may face federal charges. The mortgage giant faces accusations that it manipulated earnings to help executives get bigger bonuses. Fannie Mae's chairman denies those allegations. The Washington-based company is the second largest U.S. financial institution just behind Citigroup. It's one of 2 companies created by Congress to pump money into the home mortgage market by buying home loans and then selling them as securities on Wall Street.
Some retired Delta pilots may soon find themselves back in the air. The Delta Airlines Union has agreed to bring pilots out of retirement to deal with the current staff shortage. This move came after the company agreed not to terminate the pilots' pensions. This new agreement would have to be ratified by all 7,500 current pilots. If it isn't, Delta Airlines could face bankruptcy.
Better drink plenty of water before you get on your next flight. The EPA says nearly 1 of every 8 U.S. passenger airliners has drinking water that fails the agency's standards. The EPA is advising passengers with poor immune systems to avoid drinking water from airplane galleys. You'll recall the Fox 2 problem solvers did an investigation on this matter a few years back. We tested 11 different samples of water and ice from Northwest Airlines. 7 of those 11 samples came back loaded with bacteria that could make you sick.
The gasoline price seesaw continues tonight. This time it's moving up. AAA of Michigan saying that the average price of unleaded gasoline climbed 6 cents to $1.90. A year ago, the average was only $1.71. Here in Metro Detroit, the price is nearly $1.87. That is 4 cents higher than last week.
Next year's Dream Cruise may stall out in Birmingham. The city is threatening to drop out of the cruise if it can't find a replacement for the executive director. She only received $10,000 a year, and No one qualified for the job will do it for the same money. One firm bidding to replace her wants 7 times that salary and a percentage of all new sponsorships. That's not flying with Birmingham city leaders. If they can't find a better deal, they may just drop out of the cruise.
Her story touched the hearts of many Metro Detroiters.
On the way tonight, see how it moved one company to come to the rescue.
Plus, if you think there are a lot of bugs in Michigan, wait till you see what's happening right now in West Africa.
I'm Chris Edwards. I will show you some amazing pictures of someone who got very fortunate down south. And speaking of that, I'll talk about sunshine for us. That's all coming up.
2 new families trade spouses, and one mom clashes with her new kids.
Just give me a break here.
While the other's new family is too wild to handle.
Don't you ever talk to us like that. What is wrong with this woman?
Trading spouses. Meet your new mommy.
Tuesday at 8 on Fox 2 Detroit. Tomorrow on Fox 2 News starting at 5.
State of the art, hospital of the future, kid friendly. That's what they're calling a brand new facility that's opening up right here in Metro Detroit. I'll take you on a tour.
Tomorrow on Fox 2 News starting at 5.
Heinrich, yeah. I'll be right there.
They've left little room for compromise.
Headlights that turn on curves. Impressive.
The new RX from Lexus.
They are waiting for you.
Continuing to put the world on notice.
Be a part of the action, even if you can't be there. Get satellite TV and DSL for around $57 a month.
Henry Ford OptimEyes announces the best frame sale in optical history. 60% off every single frame, including designers. You heard right, 60% off any frame you want. All to say thank you for making Henry Ford OptimEyes the fastest growing eyeglass company in Michigan. But hurry, 60% off every frame ends soon.
I'm ready for OptimEyes.
I'm ready for OptimEyes.
I'm ready for OptimEyes.
Aren't you ready for OptimEyes?
The 260 horsepower supercharged Grand Prix Comp G. The new 275 horsepower GXP. And now, the 350 horsepower GTO. GM Employee Program participants now get a 24-month lease on a 2004 GTO for $229 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. See TriCountyPontiacDealers.com.
The gunshots that overshadowed the Hart Plaza fireworks also changed Cherie Ridley's life forever.
Now, thanks to the problem solvers and a local construction company, her life is changing again. Fox 2's Charles Pugh brings us the story.
The 2-day process has begun to build a ramp for Cherie Ridley. She was paralyzed from the waist down after being shot during the Hart Plaza fireworks. Jason Walker and Charles Ridley own All Aspects Construction. They saw our story last week about Cherie's plight, and they stepped right up.
We came over here Friday, and actually the auntie, Cherie and her auntie actually fell trying to get up the steps. You know, it was just that difficult trying to get up to her front, just to get up to the front door without a ramp. So it definitely has to be done.
It's truly a group effort. John Bingham did the blueprint for free, and All Aspects got some monetary help from a company named Aramark Facilities.
They spent like $1,800 in for the material for the ramp. It's a pretty nice sized ramp.
Aramark went with All Aspects to the store, and we purchased the actual wood and supplies to construct the ramp.
As an employee for Aramark, they asked us every day to look for better ways to serve our clients and for better ways to serve the community in which our clients are located. So I thought this was a great opportunity for Aramark to get involved to help this young lady.
So, you know, the problem solvers talk a lot about contractors in our Hall of Shame reports. Well, this time, we're going to put All Aspects Construction and Aramark in our Hall of Fame. We will come back tomorrow and show you Cherie's completed ramp. In Detroit, I'm Charles Pugh, Fox 2 News.
Cherie is a brave, courageous young lady, and we're only too happy to help. Other news right now, Detroit Fury fans, you have seen your last game. The team announcing tonight that it is ceasing operations. The Arena football team has been searching for a buyer or a partner for more than a year, but nothing could be resolved. The Fury first started playing in Metro Detroit 4 years ago, but never made any money.
A shame alert tonight issued by the Farmington Hills Fire Department. Investigators say a fake inspector is making house calls. He called one home claiming to be with the fire department, saying he needed to get inside to do an inspection. The homeowner didn't buy it because the caller refused to leave a name or any other information. We're working for you tonight. The Farmington Hills Fire Department says it never randomly calls single-family homes for fire inspections. The department will do a safety inspection at your request.
All right, get ready to pack some patience the next time you go to the airport. The Transportation Security Administration has started their tough new screening process. Now all passengers have to take off their blazers, warm-up jackets, and other outer layers before going through security checkpoints. You can also expect more pat-down searches, and security screeners are being told to look into more carry-on bags. Although it sounds like a lot, the TSA says being prepared can make the checks go a lot smoother.
Prepare in advance, much like any other place, such as a supermarket. When you're in line, get ready. You know you're going to pay by check at the end, get your check ready. In the case of security here, you know you're going to go through that screening. To the extent you can, put all your things that you possibly can into your carry-on.
The tougher inspections were motivated by the recommendation of the 9/11 Commission and the recent explosions of 2 Russian jetliners.
The Wayne County Sheriff's Department says it has ears all over the county. A new communications system has fixed a problem that left 30% of the county in a communications black hole. It was a major Homeland Security weakness, but thanks to a federal Homeland Security grant, Wayne County was able to buy a digital system worth more than $2 million.
The Motown slowdown about to cause more headaches as a major project on the large freeway set to begin. It's going to happen where the large freeway and I-94 cross. That crews will close the northbound and southbound large freeway bridges over I-94 in Detroit. One westbound lane of I-94 will be closed throughout the project. Now, MDOT has some suggestions on dealing with this highway headache.
We advise motorists to A, allow themselves some extra time, B, see if they can work with their employer, maybe to stagger their work times, or C, choose an alternate route altogether.
And be aware that this weekend, I-94 at the Lodge will be shut down for prep work.
An unarmed security guard is shot to death inside the Illinois Capitol building in Springfield. Police say the gunman walked in the front entrance, shot the guard in the chest, then took off. Investigators don't have a motive, but they do believe he is the same man wanted for a shooting earlier in the day at a military surplus store and a robbery last week.
Tonight, the CBS network admitting it made a big mistake during a report on President Bush's National Guard service. In that report, Dan Rather cited memos that said Mr. Bush refused the direct order to take a medical exam. CBS now says those documents were provided by a Texas man who has a long-running feud, who has a long-standing feud with the president. Now, he denies forging the documents, but he says he did mislead CBS. The White House says it's glad that the network admitted its mistake, but now has questions of its own.
Who is responsible for being the source of these documents, the original source of these documents? The one thing that is not in question is the timing of these recent attacks on the president. It is clear that there's been an orchestrated effort by Democrats in the Kerry campaign to try to tear down the president.
And questions about the report surfaced almost minutes after it aired on 60 Minutes. It's now believed that this will be the final week of prosecution witnesses in the Scott Peterson murder trial. On the stand today, a detective that investigated the scene where Lacey's body washed ashore. When the defense got its turn with that detective, Mark Garagos hammered him about a plastic bag found near the body. The prosecution contends the bag had no bearing on the case, but the defense says it may have been used to dispose of the body. Garagos is trying to put doubt in the jurors' minds by suggesting shoddy police work. The Marines lose an F-18 fighter jet near Quantico, Virginia. Let's take you to the scene, the crash site right along the banks of the Potomac River. We're told the pilot did eject safely, but as with most military crashes, the government will say nothing else about the crash.
Look out below. This is something you don't want to see barreling toward you. This is a massive landslide in the Italian Alps. Over the weekend, scientists estimate more than 49 million cubic feet of ice and rock came crashing down. This is one impressive show of no one was hurt. And look at what all of Mali is buzzing about, a swarm of locusts overtaking the West African country. Heavy rain in the past couple of years has helped the crops, but it's also perfect conditions for the locusts, and a lot of them. This region bracing for what could be the worst invasion since 1989. Millions starved after the locusts destroyed their crops.
When you care enough to send the very best, you don't mind dropping $4.50 for stamps. And this is what you get. Tiny crystals embedded in the paper. It's the brainchild of Austrian jewelry and crystal manufacturer Swarovski. One of the stamps will feature 6 crystals in the shape of a diamond. The other is a swan with crystal tail feathers. Austria hopes that these will become popular collector's items.
As gorgeous as today was, climatologically, it was just average. I mean, 75 and 51, very close to what's average for this time of year. No rain once again, however, and right now we're sitting in the comfortable 60s. Last 24 hours, lots of action out west. There have been rain and snow showers in the mountains coming out into the plains, an area of showers and thunderstorms as the warmer air is getting met with the colder air off to the west. And finally, along the eastern seaboard, things have finally quieted down. It has finally ended, has all the rain across the mid-Atlantic states and a lot of the Northeast. There are still some showers in parts of Florida. Mentioned earlier some pictures. We'll try to get those to you a little bit later on from Tennessee, where there was a rescue of somebody who really was in a difficult situation. But for us, of course, we've got sunshine, we've got high pressure. Things are in good shape and will continue to be that way overnight tonight. Notice the warm stuff off to the west. Well, that's not getting here anytime quickly. It's 7:30 in the morning. We'll still have sunshine. The high pressure is centered to the east of us. That is going to allow things to continue to stay very, very quiet and very dry. Move through the day tomorrow. The high pressure center goes to the south. And the clockwise circulation around that high will start to mean we'll get into a little bit of a southwest wind. It's not going to be strong. You may not even notice it, but it will help to boost temperatures a little. The gusty winds and most of the cloud cover staying off toward the west. At the 10 o'clock hour tomorrow, we'll be a few degrees warmer than where we are now. First of all, though, we've got to get through this night. And overnight, 48 in Lansing, 54 Traverse City. Warmer actually to the north and west of us, as that's where the warmer air is coming in from. Meantime, 47 in Pittsburgh. And again, our outlying areas into the 40s, but I think of the city in the 50s for lows. And then highs tomorrow with all that sun, we add several degrees to what we got today. That means 83 Lansing, 82 Traverse City, 81 even in Toronto. I think we'll get to the 80-degree mark in the heart of the city. Here's how it looks at 8 o'clock in the morning. Still a couple of spots may well still be in the upper 40s, but most of us at that time, Fox Future Temps showing we're in the 50s, and then we're off to the races. We warm up quickly. And notice these darker shades indicating to the northwest of us it's going to be several degrees past 80, probably 82, 83, and also to the south. That's what we get into as we push into Wednesday, when it looks like our heat will peak, but it won't cool off real fast. Clear skies, still cool overnight. Low 52 with a southerly wind at 6. Several degrees colder well away from the city. Then during the day tomorrow, sunshine galore. It's dry and warmer. Now, tomorrow is the last full day of summer. Autumn arrives on Wednesday, 80 degrees for tomorrow with a southwest wind at 4 to 12. And as autumn arrives, of course, it'll be 83 degrees because that's the kind of strange pattern we've seen in the summertime this year, warming up as we head into fall. 81 on Thursday. That day looks dry. Maybe a shower on Friday. That's a maybe. Most of the energy and rain from this will go to the north. And on Saturday, we'll have cooled off to 73 degrees, which is pretty close to average. It's still a little cool tomorrow at 8 in the morning. At noon, it's 73. 5 p.m., it's warm. And it is the kind of thing it's easy to get used to. Sunny day after sunny. They do this in California all the time. We enjoy it more, I think.
Thanks, Chris.
I love it. Coming up, 2 common and potentially deadly ailments could be linked.
But there is a way to find out if you're at risk. It's news that works for your health.
Plus, Winona Ryder's latest role has her playing an actress almost like herself. Or is it?
And the newest bride in the pop world has a fight on her hands with a doll. We'll explain.
Ripped off? Problem solver Rob Wolchek is working for you. Call 248-395-FOX2 or visit fox2detroit.com to tell us who should go in the Fox 2 Hall of Shame.
Wherever you go, choose Blue Care Network, the HMO that goes with you.
Can inspiration make you open up? Allow the sun to shine through. It can, with the exciting new collection of Chrysler convertibles. The widest selection of convertibles of any brand, like the 150-mile-per-hour Autobahn-tested Crossfire Roadster, the Fun for 4 PT Cruiser, the most affordable convertible, and the spacious Chrysler Sebring. So why wait? Open one up at your Chrysler dealer. Now during the Chrysler Model Year-End Clearance, get $1,000 bonus cash for a combined cash allowance of $4,000 on Sebring convertible.
Now, new car members can earn $25 in free gas with the Speedway Platinum MasterCard.
Use your new Speedway MasterCard by March 1st, and you'll get a $25 statement credit. Plus, get an 8% rebate on every Speedway purchase for the first 60 days your account is open.
Then get a full 4% rebate on all Speedway purchases. And you'll always get 1% wherever MasterCard is accepted.
Earn rebates on everything you buy every day. Pick up your application today at any Speedway.
For the new Speedway Platinum MasterCard.
The convenience stores of Speedway.
At Little Caesars, we begin with the highest quality flour and dough made fresh each day. California vine-ripened tomatoes for our world-famous pizza sauce. A unique blend of 100% fresh shredded cheeses. Delicious pepperoni. At Little Caesars, we start with the very best. So our large $5 hot and ready pepperoni pizzas taste the very best.
Pizza.
Oh, Ben.
Wow.
You know that you went over your macaroni minutes this month? So those overage charges come to $49.
Now there's a better way to buy wireless. The Sprint PCS Fair and Flexible plan adjusts every month, so you can save up to $300 a year.
No guesswork, no overage penalties.
Good. Sprint PCS. See how much you can save.
In HealthWorks tonight, 2 new studies find a strong link between diabetes and heart disease, and now a simple blood test may be able to predict if you're at risk. HA1C measures glycosylated hemoglobin. These new studies show diabetics with a high HA1C count are at greater risk of heart disease. Doctors say maintaining a healthy count can be very crucial to preventing heart disease.
This study is that lowering hemoglobin A1C may also result in a decreased risk in heart disease as well. So the hemoglobin A1C can be added to the checking of the cholesterol profile as well as the blood pressure in assessing a diabetic's cardiovascular disease risk.
Diabetics should have their HA1C measured every 3 months. Overweight children are more likely to suffer a heart attack later in life. The World Heart Federation says obese children are 3 to 5 times more likely to suffer a heart attack or a stroke before they reach the age of 65. They say it's because overweight kids are much more likely to be overweight as adults.
In a Fox Beat tonight, Winona Ryder has a new role that sounds slightly familiar. The actress/convicted shoplifter is set to star in a new independent company called Mary Warner. That's the name of the film. It follows the story of a strange actress who goes through a series of life-changing misadventures after eating a batch of marijuana-laced brownies. It's from the same director who guided Ryder in the black comedy Heathers.
Fresh from her wedding vows, Britney Spears is firing off a few lawsuits. She's upset that the new movie Seed of Chucky uses her song Baby One More Time. In response, the makers of the demonic doll are using it as a marketing gimmick. New ads tout Seed of Chucky as the movie Britney doesn't want you to see.
Coming up, something you will want to see. Chris with another look at tomorrow's weather in 4 minutes.
Plus, see a prime example of one state's obsession with making things larger than life.
I'm Dan Miller. Coming up in sports, the Lions getting set to go against the Eagles this week. Steve Mariucci, 101 when we come back.
Hyundai Initial Quality is winning people over. The Hyundai Sonata was just named the highest-ranked entry midsize car in Initial Quality by J.D. Power and Associates. That dedication to Initial Quality lets Hyundai offer America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. And the feature-packed Hyundai Sonata starts for as little as $14,394. So don't buy another sedan before you check out the highest-ranked Hyundai Sonata. Hyundai, win. Get a 2004 Sonata with up to $3,000 cash back or 0% APR.
I'm George W. Bush, and I approve this message.
On healthcare, President Bush and our leaders in Congress have a practical plan. Allow small businesses to join together to get lower insurance rates big companies get. Stop frivolous lawsuits against doctors. Health coverage you can take with you. The liberals in Congress and Kerry's plan, Washington bureaucrats in control, a government-run healthcare plan, $1.5 trillion price tag, big government in charge. Not you, not your doctor.
Remember this commercial? At that time, it was the greatest mattress ever. Now, Simmons with Garnder-White has taken the do not disturb concept to the next level. The new Simmons Beauty Rest mattress, built so well, you never have to flip it.
Only at Garnder-White, save 50% and more on Beauty Rest bedding, and you pay no interest for 3 full years. We pay your sales tax with no minimum purchase required.
This is better sleep through science. Simmons Beauty Rest, only at Garnder-White.
If you've been injured in an automobile accident, call Zamler, Mellen, and Shiffman at 1-800-LAWYERS. 36 years in Michigan, free call, free advice.
At Kia, we dare you to find a more affordable large premium sedan. We dare you to find a midsize SUV with more awards. Or a minivan with better safety ratings. We dare you to find a midsize sedan with a better warranty. In fact, we dare you to test drive any of these cars. And if you don't think they're the best value out there, we dare you to have your head examined.
Visit your Metro Detroit Kia retailers. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Wallside Windows will never be undersold. Want proof? Your 6th Wallside window is only $60 when you buy 5 or more. You save $200 off custom-crafted bays and bows and $100 off door walls. And only Wallside gives you 1 full year before you pay anything. No down payment, no payments, and no interest. Wallside, most preferred, most referred, and never undersold. Let us prove it. Call 1-800-521-7800.
Fox 2 Weather Authority, brought to you by Wallside Windows, most preferred, most referred, and celebrating 60 years.
In tonight's nightcap, everything is bigger in Texas. At least that's what they say. Say howdy to Big Tex, a 52-foot statue.
It was hoisted into place today at the Texas State Fair. The giant leader sports his signature red, white, and blue outfit and boots. He stands about, I'd say, 25 feet tall. Tex has been around since 1952, but our state fair has the biggest stove in the world. It's some 35 feet. Bigger, badder, and better.
Take that, Texas.
Yeah, and it makes better bread, too. We've been talking about all the rain down south. I wanted to show you some video here. This is in Tennessee outside of Knoxville. They had over 8 inches of rain. There's a woman in that truck who's almost up to her neck in the river waters that are coming up. There finally come the rescuers. She made the mistake of going over a water-covered roadway. She did the right thing by sticking with her car. Very important, dramatic video as the waters are still receding there. Meantime, around here, we haven't had a raindrop in a long time. 56 in the morning, 73 at noon, sunny all day. Tomorrow's high near 80.
All right, the Lions feeling good about things. 2-0 to start. Philadelphia coming up. We'll talk with the head coach over here. Come on. Good evening, everybody. Let's start with the NFL, where the Lions went through a short workout today in Allen Park, and as you might expect, things out there are pretty upbeat. The team is 2-0 for the first time in 4 years, and they are getting solid play out of a number of guys. Count among those quarterback Joey Harrington, who put together another key fourth-quarter drive this past weekend to help the squad win. He was among a number of topics I covered with the head coach on Fox 2 News at 6.
He's playing well, and you don't go from whatever our record has been to blowing people out on a weekly basis. It's not how you start winning some close games and winning ugly, whatever you have to do, and then you start becoming more efficient, more confident, and more explosive, that sort of thing. There's Roy Williams, who had a terrific day, as you all know, and made a couple of big touchdown catches. But boy, what a future this guy has.
All right, if there's a stat I know coaches love, it's that difference between takeaways and giveaways. And yesterday, your defense was able to take the ball away, and that was a big key in that football game.
3 times, and we turned it over once with an interception, but we took it away from them 3 times, and we try to make it an emphasis, and we try to rally to the ball, and we try to strip it and break on the ball with the interceptions, those sort of things. But so far, that's been in our favor.
For this football team you're going to face on Sunday, which we will all get to see tonight, is a much better football team than you've seen the first 2 weeks. It's going to be a big test for you guys.
Well, it is, and they're the team that, they have gone to the NFC Championship game 3 times in a row, have added players to that team to get over the hump. They're primed and ready to go. They have to beat Minnesota first. I'm glad we have them at home. It's going to be huge for us to have a home field advantage. I'm glad we have them in a short week, and let's play ball.
All right. Held in check out of the backfield. And Moss, for him, was fairly quiet.